Welcome to Singular Santa Paula. I'm Allie Fox and I'm here with
Dan Diaz.
And we are standing in the historic Santa Paula Depot. It was built in 1887. And Dan, did you know that the depot was actually a kit that they assembled, and it took about a month, I believe?
Wow, that's amazing. I heard they come to Sacramento and they come down as these kits and reassemble them all within a short time.
Absolutely. That's why all the depots in California look the same. It's fascinating. This depot has definitely been recognized in so many different films, and the latest that we just were so happy to have here was Glee, which was filmed right in this room right here. We also use the depot for many different meeting places. There's a fabulous room in the back, and they get together. The Art Society is actually one of the wonderful ones that comes here and gets their meetings started, and we're able to enjoy what they have to offer us here in Santa Paula.
Get their business done.
Absolutely, it's fantastic.
Did you know also that two presidents of the United States actually stopped here during their presidency?
Really? Which presidents?
Back in 1891, Benjamin Harrison, and then 10 years later, 1901, William McKinley.
Wow.
They pretty much came through the track, stopped right here, on their way to San Francisco or Sacramento. This is the main artery that the train line did, and pretty much stayed for about 10 minutes to half an hour, did a little, some people around there and just a little fanfare, and gave short little speeches saying how pretty Santa Paula is, and such a growing community, and blah blah blah, and how proud he is to be an American.
Isn't that true?
And then just kind of got back in the train, and off he went.
That is so fascinating. You can actually catch the train still coming from here to Fillmore and back. They have fantastic events that they use, and just a really wonderful weekend train
rides. Yeah. History. In fact, talking about history, our first segment today deals with an interview that was done about a month ago. It has an older couple in the early 80s. They were talking, and with our co-host Josefa Baca, sat down and talked to them.
Fantastic.
Now, the husband of the couple, he actually was 7 years old when his parents started a business here in town.
Wow.
In fact, if you haven't guessed it, it's my mom and dad. And we've been here in our business 76 years. Josefa sat with them, did some nice stories, some history, and did like about they have this little 8-10 minute clip. I think you find it fascinating. So pull up a chair, get yourself comfortable, and let's watch the video of the Familia Diaz, the history.
Yay! Looking forward to it.
Jose and Josefa Diaz established a family legacy of hard work, determination, and spiritual faith. In 1936, they opened a small restaurant, then known as Las 15 Letras, or the 15 letters. Their business grew as Josefa Diaz became known in the community as an excellent cook and businesswoman. She ran the restaurant while her husband, Jose, tended to the cantina. It was through Josefa that the Diaz children, Nora, Mike, Trini, Tony, and little Vicky, would learn to value hard work, spirituality, and education. Many of her children would go on to have their own families, attend college, and find their own personal success. Tony, her son, would be chosen to foster the family tradition and ensure her legacy would continue. He took on the role as leader of the Diaz family and led his family to 3 generations of successful family business. This is the story of 75 years of family history in the beautiful town of Santa Paula.
Just give a little history of our early beginnings, how we were able to start to initiate the restaurant. And what I'm saying is, my mother suffered so hard. She was during the Depression, 1929 Depression, and she bought a cow, and she would sell eggs and make cheese, and then she bought a goat, sell the milk. Then she had chickens. She said, whatever she possibly could to make a dollar. She had people they would actually go out and distribute to. And my oldest sister, she had a route prior to school that she would drop off eggs, milk, cheese, and that's how my mother was able to accumulate $500 during the course of 3 or 4 years. It took her that much to accumulate the $500 to initiate the actual beginning of the restaurant.
So Uncle Tony, $500, let's see, that would have been what year?
Okay, we started in 1936, you know,
Yeah.
in 1936 here. So that means, you know, I haven't, I was born 1929. So that means I was 4 or 5 years old,
You're
6
right.
years old, you know, so consequently, you know, I don't remember too much. But I remember every Saturday we used to have a big tub out there, and they were Saturday night bath, you know.
Yeah.
It was, you know, hard she worked. And those work ethics really, you know, later on proved out to be, for her, she used to work, my God, she used to, my dad used to open the cantina in front in the bar, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and she would be there prior to that, and getting some food ready, whatever she could possibly sell, through the bar itself, because there was no restaurant, you know, at that time it was just a bar.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to give you just a basic idea as to how it started. You know,
So
and later on we went on.
you're the second generation. So
I'm second
first
generation.
it was Grandma Josefa, right?
Right.
And then Grandpa Joe.
Right.
And it was Grandma Josefa. I love that part of our family story, that she had that passion for cooking, and she helped to come up with that family savings of the first $500.
Exactly,
And in the
yeah, right.
30s, what do you think that is now?
Everything she made was delicious.
Yeah.
Everything was
She had
delicious.
a knack, you know, really, and I was just amazed, you know.
Yeah.
What amazed me more than anything else, she went to school for 3 years, yet, you know, she could outsmart me and a lot of things that I could use my head on and whatever, and she would say, well, fine, bye. I'm thinking in eggs. And she said, I'm thinking in eggs.
Yeah.
You know, how many eggs? And he would be able to pinpoint it down to a nil, really, in her mind. I'm just amazed, totally amazed, really, how she could do it.
She would ask me about, say, money. She was doing money, counting money. And she says, how much is this? Well, I would need a pencil and paper. And before I finished, she already told me what it was.
Yeah, just like smart intelligence that just
Yeah.
naturally born with it.
Exactly. Yes.
Entrepreneurial. She had a lot of entrepreneurial spirit, right?
Yeah, she had a little bit.
Uncle Tony, so I found this really great photo album, and I wanted you to come sit down with me again because, you know, I know we have all these black and white shots for the family, but when you look at these and you see how time has
My
just been
folks-
captured.
These are my folks, like when they got married.
Yeah. This is Grandma Josefa right here and Grandpa Joe. Look at her shoes, they're just so cute. It's amazing. And that's 1919.
1919, yeah.
Now, would that have been in Santa Paula, 1919? Were they
It
married
was.
here in Santa Paula?
They got married in Santa Paula, and this it doesn't say the month.
No, it doesn't say the month. It just says 1919. Well, yes, it does say actually August. So they got married in August. Wow. And then we have this really old picture. It's the 1880s.
Oh,
so
wow. I mean,
wow.
that
And
really
this
goes
is Grandpa Joe's. Now this is Jose Angel Diaz, my great grandfather's family, and it's really a great picture. There's one man here with a gun. It's kind of cool, right? Yeah.
That was my
That's your
grandpa.
great-grandfather.
That's my great great grandpa, I guess, right? So that's your grandpa. So my great great grandpa. Wow, some amazing pictures. And
That's
you know,
amazing.
as I look through this, Uncle Tony, and I read some of these articles, I can't help but look at some of these, like the deeds and the different bills for all of the produce. It's so crazy that, like, in 1943, Familia Diaz was already buying, you know, eggs here in the community to cook for the restaurant, right?
Exactly, you're right. No, it's just amazing how time flies, really. It's I've been here so long.
And so let's see, you were born, when were you born, Uncle Tony?
I was born 1929, April 18th.
So you would have been still a young teenager when some of these receipts came into place.
Yes.
And here's a picture. So this is your brother, Michael, right?
Right.
And
right.
he actually was in the Korean War. Is that right?
No. He was in the European War.
Oh, okay.
And he got killed crossing the Rhine,
Yeah.
and, you know, in Germany.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he may have been in the family restaurant business too if he had stayed with us. Yeah. This is one of my favorite areas. It's the time period that Aunt Sally joins the family, because I think you have a really amazing love story. You've been married for years. How many years have you been married?
63.
63 years.
63 years.
And my Aunt Sally, as a young woman, there's this great picture of you at Santa Paula High School. You're both Santa Paula High School graduates. Yeah, the both of you. And here's where you get married, and in the newspaper, and in front of Guadalupe Church, I think, right? That's Guadalupe Church, yeah. These are some great pictures.
February 13, 1949.
So back then, Aunt Sally, did you think that, were you interested in the restaurant business, or were you absolutely not going to be part of it at that point?
Never entered my mind.
Yeah.
I just thought about him all.
Oh.
You know, we got married, like I say, you know, in 1959. What was it?
Let me see.
The exact-
Yeah, 1949, Uncle Tony. Yeah, 10 more years.
I came to the business 3 years later.
Yeah,
So those 3 years I told you about, we went out there, and I was an apprentice carpenter.
yeah,
And this is why, I wanted to follow the profession. I really enjoyed that.
right.
But I had to, because I would have told you about my brother.
Yeah,
I had to stay here and help
Right.
help the parents.
right. Well, Aunt Sally, you were a great addition to our family because my Aunt Sally is the one who helped bring in so many different ideas for the cuisine and really strengthen our menu. I love the part that you added to the restaurant and the fashion part too. The restaurant's beautiful. If you look at, just from the chandeliers to the flooring, it's my Aunt Sally who's helped to choose all of these things. So in the 46, when Uncle Tony married you, we got lucky as a family, definitely. You were a welcomed addition. And here's some other pictures here, and one little business card that says Las 15 Letras, the 15 letters, which was officially the first name of the restaurant.
That is correct.
Yeah, and 15 letras, if you were to count out every single letter of that, of those 3 words, it would actually be 15 letters. And my understanding is Grandpa Joe thought that was interesting and kind of like a cool name because of the way it counted out.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I thought it was quite, somehow,
Yeah, I think it's neat. But in the 80s now, you renamed the restaurant. Oh, and here's a picture, look, of the 50th anniversary. Is that when we became Familia Diaz, the restaurant, when we were?
Well, the fact being that my kids were actually joining me, as partners. That's why I thought, well, it's a family endeavor. And the chain were coming up all over the place.
Yeah.
Mexican chain restaurants. And I wanted to emphasize that it was a family owned, a family run. So this is why I resorted to make a big Familia Diaz.
Well, I love this picture. It's Sandy, and there's Sandy. Sandy, can you join us for a minute? I want to show you this picture. It's really cute. So Sandy, now you're in the family business, and it's just been such a long history. Any pressure to keep it going?
It's just what we do. You just strive to get it better.
Right. And I know you've picked up the whole being a chef. You're trained classically, and you have all this amazing talent in the kitchen as well as being a manager. Did you think of yourself as being a chef or you were young?
No, never. I never had the intention of working nights or weekends. That was my idea, to get into another business that was just 9 to 5.
Right.
But it drew me back in.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
And what's it like working with your dad?
I love my daddy.
Not demanding.
Yeah.
He has a very high standard, so you're always having to improve and be perfect. Try to be perfect.
Yeah, I think it's interesting though, those high standards. He's my great uncle, but I still can remember being a young girl as a bus girl here and constantly thinking, I gotta be the best, and how can I be better, and how can I move up? And because that is Uncle Tony's mantra, right?
Yes.
High standards.
Yes.
Like, grow, be better, be the best, try
That's right.
really hard. And if you've worked as hard as you possibly can, big things will happen. I think that's why we've been in business for 75 years.
It sure helps.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
helps. It's hard to meet those standards all the time, though.
And when you look at all these pictures, how do you feel?
It's a long time. You know what? It's
Rock is there too.
yeah, my
Yeah.
kids. We all started. My siblings. We all started here. There's pictures of my siblings here. There's pictures of my daughter who started working here.
It's a great picture of Rocky, right? How old do you think she is here?
Oh, she was probably 19.
Yeah.
19, yeah. So she's given me 2 grandchildren now.
Yeah,
So
and they're the 5th generation,
they
Jake
are the
and
5th
Kashara.
generation,
Yeah.
yes.
So
yes.
Rocky's 4th, they're 5th. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, we've got 5th generation working here too. So it's amazing. I mean, the kids will probably bring in 6th generation. I don't think Grandma and Grandpa ever thought that wasn't, I don't think their long-term
Goal.
vision, but we're here. So, and we've got lots of beautiful pictures here. I mean, there's a picture here that shows that we got, best business of the year. And we've got a picture here where we got the Best of LA Food Award for like 4 consecutive years.
Right.
Danny and George out here making their barbecue, which is first Sunday of the month every month.
Right.
It's amazing. We've got Elisa, our lady that creates tortillas. I mean, homemade corn tortillas.
Yeah.
They're served warm. Oh my gosh, look at this picture of my dad.
Yeah.
This is the picture of my dad in the old restaurant, and he must have been, when were you, like 40?
Yeah. As handsome as ever. Yeah.
19.
Were you 19? Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many. I mean, you look back at every picture, and they all bring back memories. And this is a picture of when we changed the name of Las Quinceletras, and they're taking the old sign down. And that was it was kind of a bittersweet day. It was a lot of demolition and a lot of changes, but it was good. You know, it's okay. So
I found this one picture here. It's with me in it. So but it's all my cousins. And when I think of that, all the family you've given jobs to, we all get our start here. That's pretty amazing, you know, that everybody has a start. Yeah. And when anything happens in the family, this is where I like to come also. This is where I like to feel at home again and eat and drown my sorrows in some good enchiladas
and
or some beans and some chips and a Mazatlan margarita. And so sitting here and talking to all of you and getting this on tape has been a really great opportunity for me. So thank you for spending time with me. I know you're busy, so you always got projects going on, Uncle Tony and Sally and Sandy. Yeah.
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dan, one of the many things that I love about our downtown Santa Paula are the buildings, the architecture.
Oh, there's so much different character to each one. They're all built at a different time with a different architect involved, and they're very unique in their own way.
They really are. It's amazing how you can look down the street and they're all connected together, but they're also different and unique, like you said.
Exactly.
And the one that is so recognizable, of course, is our clock tower.
Oh, yeah, been around since 1903, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, hey, are you getting thirsty?
I am.
You know what? Let's go to Garden's get a pint.
It sounds like a plan to me. Hi, Peggy. It's good to see you.
Good seeing you and Dan. Wonderful as
Nice to
always
see you,
seeing
Peg.
both of you. Do you think it's too early for a G steak?
Never too early
or
for
a
that.
pint? I don't think so either.
Or a pint, yes,
We've been walking
absolutely.
downtown, actually, and Allie's been telling a little bit of history of downtown.
Well, yeah, I was reading up on it. It was really fascinating. Back in 1873, Nathan Blanchard established our wonderful community here, and now it's a thriving community. We have over 60 businesses, and in fact, we're sitting here right now at Garmin's, which is one of our fantastic local only Irish pubs here in town.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
love having them here.
Yeah, in fact, this downtown's grown so much. We're doing different special events and functions, festivals, what have you. We close off Main Street, and we have the cruise night, the first Friday
cruise
of
night.
every
It's a blast.
month during the spring and summer. Bring all the classic cars in there. You've got all the carburetors going and the smell of gasoline in the air, and it's just exciting. You know,
It is. It's a
nice festival atmosphere.
Absolutely.
We also got the jazz and art festival. They
That
bring up the
one's fun.
That's
tables,
fun.
close off Main Street, and the easels and paintings, and all the restaurants go out there and take your orders, and you get to have jazz music, live jazz music, under the stars.
It's fantastic. We'll
Yeah,
be there
it's
this
so
year.
much fun.
And
Yeah,
then, but of course,
wonderful.
we can't forget our Citrus
And they're
Festival.
both free. They're both
Exactly,
free.
exactly. And the Citrus Festival is not downtown, but it's always a classic. It'll bring all the kids, the rides and the games and the booths and the live entertainment all weekend long.
Absolutely.
But one thing I heard also is the Balloon Festival's coming back this year.
Ah, the Citrus
Yes.
Classic.
Yes.
What an event. It's just amazing. We go every year and the kids just love it. I mean, to be standing right under those beautiful balloons, especially when they're illuminated,
Yeah,
is
in fact, Peggy,
yes.
aren't you
nothing we've
working
never
with them with
seen.
that?
Well, I was working with them as far as I'm certainly am supportive of it, and I worked with them on doing a video, and it is an absolutely wonderful event. I mean, it's so unique. It's the only balloon festival of its type, probably in the whole state of California, and it draws visitors from out of state. It's just fabulous. And when you talk about the kids, everybody's a kid once
Yeah.
those balloons start to go up.
Yeah.
And they have the glow dinner on Friday night, and that's wonderful because all the tethered balloons are lit up as darkness falls, and they're illuminated, and it's fabulous. You're dwarfed by
Yes.
these wonderful globes of light with all the colors. They've got character balloons for the kids. They have, on Saturday morning, they're going to have real bright and early, or at least early, maybe not too bright for at least me. They have the mass ascension of the balloons, and the pilots are very competitive, and they like to get up there and really play some games with each other, and then weather permitting, of course. And again, weather permitting, they tether the balloons during the day. They're going to have a full day of activities for the kids. They've got nonstop musical entertainment. We've got the cruise nights this year, the Preacher Blues Band, Wano and Friends, and many other bands. And it's just a wonderful event. And this year it's going to be July 27th and 28th.
Oh, it's gonna be
at the
great.
Limonera Soccer Fields east of Santa Paula.
Well, we're looking
Now, haven't
forward
we
to
done a
it.
video on this also?
Yes, that's absolutely. We've got a wonderful video where it highlights some of the pilots and how they feel about flight and about ballooning and the Citrus Festival, as well as the volunteers. It takes an army of volunteers, and they get a front row seat to all the activities, so it's well worth it helping out.
That's amazing.
Well, I
Yes,
think
we
maybe
do.
our people should watch the video.
Yeah.
I think that's what we should do.
Let's head to it.
Sounds
Let's do
good.
it.
Let's go to the Balloon Festival.
As some of you may know, Santa Paula has been famous for almost a century of agriculture and the birthplace of oil in California. We're also famous for very warm people and one of the oldest private airports, the Santa Paula Airport. It's the oldest in the nation. And we have here not only agricultural history, but proximity to the beaches of Ventura County. As you can see, look around me. Beautiful, beautiful weather. People say this is one of their favorite places to reside. Let me share a story with you. 5 years ago, I was invited to a hot air balloon festival down in Guanajuato, Mexico. Never been to Guanajuato, Mexico. I thought, let me go, see what's up. And there I was in a city I had never been to before in the pitch dark, 5 in the morning, and out of nowhere comes 500,000 people streaming into a park. What were they there for? 70 hot air balloons coming to life. It was incredible. People everywhere, hot air balloons coming to life, the colorful silks laid out on the ground. They were being inflated and coming to life, surrounded by people lifting up over the park. It was mesmerizing. What was most mesmerizing, as I looked around, weren't the hot air balloons. It was the faces of the children. You can just imagine these children. Their eyes were just filled with awe and wonder. They're looking at these incredible, colorful things, which are incredibly tall. They're like 18 feet tall in some cases, coming to life in front of them and lifting up in the skies. They'd never seen anything like this. And I was touched, felt like a child inside me had woken up watching those children gazing at the balloons. It was fantastic. Looking back around here, this is pretty fantastic. We've got wonderful open spaces. You can see the agriculture in the hills. And so as you look around, Guanajuato, Mexico, Ventura County, this beautiful gem of Santa Paula, it clicked. It came together. Let's take a look.
How are you?
Oh, golly. Hey.
Hi, Sally. How are you? Cindy. Good.
Volunteers.
Hi, Tony.
Hello.
Good to see
All right. Bye, golly.
Guys, isn't this exciting? It's getting closer and closer. It's going to be so much fun. Before I forget, I have to tell you the best story that I heard about the Balloon Classic. A couple of years ago, the balloons were flying over Hillview Estates, and friends of mine that live out there were relating the story that they looked up, and first of all, they could hear the swishing from the propane burners, and they looked up and the balloons were there. Then two of them actually landed. People were running out in their bathrobes and slippers, and it was wonderful. They said it looked like a scene from The Wizard of Oz. Well, anyway, it was so cool. And so anyway, then the pilots landed, and the women are bringing them coffee and donuts. And one of the pilots even tethered his balloon, and he gave a couple of the ladies the rides. And they were so excited. And everybody loved the pilots. They loved the interaction with them. And they said, these guys are so, and ladies, are so warm and friendly, and they fit into Santa Paula, and we want them back. We just love them. Anybody? Yeah.
Well, I can attest to that because I was aboard that first balloon that came in. I was crewing, and yeah, it was pretty hairy, but we just brushed a tree and came down between two of these houses, and next thing you know, they thought they were being invaded from outer space or something, and they kept running out. What is this? And some of the women were barely in their nightgowns, and hair was flying, curlers. It was a riot. It was so enjoyable. I always remember that.
I bet you do.
Oh, it's great.
What fun.
It doesn't happen every day.
Oh no, every year.
I think the favorite thing is the balloon globe. I can't get enough of it. It's awesome, and to see the faces of all the people and watch their expressions and all, it's really great.
Well, you guys have been flying balloons a long time. How long have you been flying, Steve?
About 30 years. Started in the Palm Springs area in 1981. Yeah.
And Peggy?
Oh, since about 86. And I learned to fly in Germany and flew all over Europe first, and then came over and bought my first balloon.
Fantastic.
So you've flown some famous people, Steve. I heard you flew Lionel Richie the other day.
Yeah, I flew Lionel Richie and his 13-year-old niece for their birthday party.
What other famous people have you flown?
I've flown, I did some Playboy Playmate shoots. That was pretty nice. Flew J.C. Dugard this year for 2020.
That's right. That was back in July. That was a fun one.
Yeah,
right here out of Santa Paula.
Right in Santa Paula, yeah. Santa Paula's a great place to fly, actually. It's so beautiful. The weather's fantastic.
And the orchards are beautiful, too.
Well, and we have a balloon event coming up here, the Citrus Classics coming up in July, end of July. It's fabulous.
The last weekend in July. The best thing that I like about that event are the glows. On Friday and Saturday nights, the pilots put all the balloons up and they glow like giant light bulbs.
And the kids really like that. We like to get the kids involved as much as possible.
It's amazing that what the kids come out to see, the balloonists, the pilots. We have quite a few young pilots coming to this event, so the kids really enjoy seeing a 16 or 17-year-old teenager putting up a hot air balloon. It's great for the new kids that are coming into the sport.
Well, Steve, we also give out trading cards. Most of the balloonists carry trading cards for the kids, and they go home and stick them up on their bulletin board and share it with their classmates.
And then they'll come back each year and show us the ones they collected from the previous years.
Kind of like baseball trading cards. They trade off and on with balloon trading cards.
Yeah, it's a fabulous sport. Great for all ages. Since it is colorful, and with that glow at night, the colors shoot off, off of everyone.
Kind of like a Christmas tree. I always refer to it like a big.
Yeah, they're like light bulbs
going
off.
Yeah. It's all dark, and then the lights, the burners make the envelope glow real nice.
Well, and they have it all to music too. They have a lot of bands this year that are just going to be fabulous. So they have it to music. They have a dinner that's a wine dinner that's just been sold out almost every year. So it's a great event for, especially for Santa Paula. It's a good little city, a lot of nice people here, and great weather.
And it's a beautiful place to fly. The balloonists love coming here and flying through the valley towards the coast.
Yeah, you know, I was really fortunate to be in the first year as a volunteer to work with some of the balloon crews. I brought my son Christian with me, and he said, you know what, if this is going to happen every year, sign me up. I want to be in as a volunteer because
Why not?
Right.
it was such a beautiful scene, especially at night. You see the background, the mountains, and it is awesome. You know, I just love it. You know, we have 3 generations that work for the light mineral company, and they all come and every year and then sit in the grass and then really enjoy it. The children, my goodness, they look like they've seen a ghost. Their eyes are wide open, and it's just beautiful.
Right. They don't see it every day.
That's right, Gene.
Well, Dan, we are standing in front of the gravity ball that the vision of Mr. Roy Wilson Jr. had. He was the son of the famed architect here in Santa Paula, Roy Wilson Sr., and he was actually the first licensed architect in Ventura County. Well, his son Roy Wilson Jr.'s vision was to have this gravity ball here because he wanted everybody to own a piece of what Santa Paula was all about. He was so fascinated by how things worked. He graduated Santa Paula High School in 1937 and continued his education at the University of Hawaii and then decided to transfer to UCLA. He was such a visionary, and his ideas got him the opportunity to work with Christo and Jean-Claude, the dynamic and international art duo that actually did the umbrellas in 1991, and Mr. Wilson was a part of that. And I believe actually you was telling me that they actually have an umbrella.
They have an umbrella, yes, at the Wilson Ranch, except it's not for the Cristo exhibit. It's a model that they created for the Cristo exhibit, I believe.
Just
and
fascinating.
yeah, it actually is. It encompasses a large amount of area and gives a nice degree of shade.
Yeah.
So it's really cool there.
It was amazing and so fascinating on how he got involved with all of this. He also was the type of person that loved to sit and talk with everybody. He loved to share his ideas and how things worked, and his fascination was truly what
Cool.
helped.
In fact, he was a visionary. He was a real visionary, and it really helped. In fact, the nice thing about this gravity ball is it sits here in this Railroad Plaza Park, and the Railroad Plaza Park stretches from all the way Ojai Street down to 7th Street, and in between we've got these memorials. We have the 1928 St. Francis Dam Memorial, where back then this dam busted and was coming down the middle of the night and was going to flood the whole valley. They sent the word out, and these 2 motorcycle officers here in town went out and through the floodplain warned everybody and told everybody to evacuate and basically saved countless lives.
Wow, those are heroes.
Exactly. Then there's the Police Officers Memorial. That one's dedicated to the officers who have served countless hours and duties here in the community, and it's dedicated to 2 who have died in the line of duty here in Santa Paula. Then we have the Field Workers Memorial. Our Field Workers Memorial is dedicated to the many, over 130 years we have had people working in the fields here, tens of thousands of people who have dedicated their time, effort to make this community grow bigger and stronger and just improve our overall economy.
It's fantastic. And, it's so nice to have these things to remind us of what wonderful men and women have been a part of this community.
Exactly. In fact, I believe our Singer Santa Paula has the conductor talking about the Field Workers Memorial.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we should go to film.
Let's check it out.
train is due, I have just enough time to tell you a little bit about Santa Paula. Good day. I'm here at the Santa Paula Farm Workers Memorial. Santa Paula has the only monument in the whole country that honors farm workers, both men and women, who have contributed to the local and state economies, society, and culture. The monument, supported by individuals and corporations, showcases 2 bronze statues of male and female workers as they labor with citrus and row crops. Santa Paula and Albino Pineda worked for years to create the monument, set in this beautiful plaza. The monument is decorated with plaques dedicated to individual farm workers who have contributed their labor to the growing, harvesting, and handling of agricultural products. Benches and shade trees for the public to enjoy when they visit this historical landmark are in the plaza. Jose Hernandez, a pioneering Latino NASA astronaut and former farm worker, spoke at the monument's dedication in 2010. The monument is located in Santa Paula's Railroad Plaza Park, near the Agriculture Museum, just 1 short block from Main Street. Maps, brochures, and descriptions are available at the depot. Well, I see it's almost time for the train to get back, so I better get back to the depot. Thanks for visiting the Santa Paula Depot. All aboard!
Well, that was fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Conductor.
Yeah,
As you
yeah.
can see, we have moved to the window here at Garmin's as we look over downtown and watching everybody driving by and enjoying ourselves a nice pint or...
Pint or 2, exactly.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, every time you're in town, make sure you swing by Garmin's. Good conversation, good
Absolutely.
food, good drinks.
And wonderful environment. Yep. And actually, we're looking forward to our next segment coming up here soon. I believe one of them is Totally Tamale.
Yeah, Toys Tamales, and then the murals, the beginning of the murals. We have 9 beautiful murals here in town and how they all started.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
So,
well, if you haven't been to Santa Paula,
you haven't been anywhere.
cheers.
Thank you for coming.